first Rockwood question that we had. If you had to describe the festival in one word or phrase, what would it be?
The first word that comes to mind is exhausting. But on a more positive note, one word?
I would use two. I would say frenetic hangout for me, because I always feel like I'm like running all over, but then you're spending a lot of time chatting with people and friends and catching up, and so it's like it's not like hard work, but it's like nonstop.
Yeah, it's hard to put it in one word.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blast. I mean, we have a good time together. It's everybody's friends. You know, we do these conventions. Some of us are lucky enough to do these conventions. This one's just so much different because it's all music. So it's more tiring, I think, because of the musical aspect, you know, because of the performing aspect. It can be a bit exhausting.
Yeah, that's what leads me kind of to the second question. What do you think makes this so special that people want to come back every year, and that makes it special for you as guests as well?
I mean, for me, I think, you know, coming at it from the music side, whereas I think Gil's experience is much more with like the traditional conventions and obviously acting background. Like, as a musician, it's less typical to have all the other opportunities to interact and all the, you know, it's like that's as much a part of the festival as the actual music, or if not more. So like, that's a special, you know, that's a really special feature for us that, you know, I mean, typically I'll like play a show and then maybe you chat for a few minutes afterwards and everybody goes their separate ways. But like for this, you know, everybody's staying in the same place, you're eating in the same places, you know, you just have an opportunity to actually like get to know people, I think, in a more real way.
Totally. I was going to say, I think it feels more intimate. This is the 5th year of this, I believe.
Yeah.
I was here year 1. I've only missed 1 year when my daughter was born, but year 1 it was very intimate. And it's grown every year, which is great, but I think it's kind of held on to that more intimate feel. There's more interaction among everyone. And and I think it's just special. I don't think there's many things like this that I'm aware of, you know.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. And speaking of what makes it special for us as fans is a lot of the jam sessions and concerts, because you guys get to collab in like different ways. Is there something you would like to try out this year that we can look forward to, like a collab or a duet that you've already planned, or you go?
That's a great question. It may not be planned yet, but I did notice that I've got a jam session with Brianna, and that's never happened before. So when I saw her a couple weeks ago at a con, and I said we should sing something. Little did I know that we have a jam session together, so we need to figure something out. But yeah, so look forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like it always feels a little fly by the seat of your pants, because I'll get some of the music in advance, you know, when I'm playing for other people.
Yeah.
But at least half of it comes up like the day of, or like 5 minutes before, or whatever. So it's like, as far as the jam
that's how
stuff,
good he is.
He's really good.
I mean, you know, it comes with the territory.
Yeah, you're used to it. You're used to kind of.
Yeah. Although I will say, I mean, I haven't been the last couple of years. I've been mostly working in the studio, so I haven't been performing as much. I've kept a church gig that I play every week, basically as my opportunity to play, and the band is super fun, and so, you know, it's like I'm still playing somewhat, but being in the studio in a recording context is very different from being on stage, because a lot of what I'm doing is not even piano, you know, it's like more production, computer music, and using a keyboard maybe, but not necessarily to play the piano. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it always, there's a little bit of like shaking off the rust, but you know, that's part of the fun too.
I'm more relaxed this year than I ever have been.
You know, I'm a little worried about that. Like,
Why is he so chill?
Like,
yeah, I hope so.
I feel the same
I hope
way.
it's
I'm
a
like,
good thing.
I'm like, yeah, I actually feel much more. I mean, I think to some extent, slightly more prepared in that I feel like I actually know what I'm going to be doing. Whereas in
It's always
previous
good.
years, it's like there are always 3 or 4 extra people,
Yeah.
you know, who want to do songs. And I'm always happy to play as much as, you know, as much as anybody wants me to. But it's just a lot more kind of figuring stuff out when I get here. Whereas this year, I feel like I think I have charts for most of the things that I'm doing already. And
Like a
you know,
spreadsheet.
I may not have actually tried them out on the piano yet, but
Yeah.
like, I think I at least have a handle on what I'm going to be doing. So I feel, you know, pretty.
I have to remind myself to have fun sometimes, you know, because sometimes I get a little stressed over these things. But I actually have done some singing just in the past couple months, quite a bit, and done a couple shows this year. So I feel like I've started to build a repertoire, and Aaron knows almost all of it. So, you know, I'm feeling a bit more comfortable going into this year, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And the last Rockwood question, because this is kind of the event where nerds and geeks meet music. Is there anything nerdy or geeky that you've picked up from being surrounded by so many nerds and geeks?
Oh my God.
Or is there anything you get like super nerdy and geeky about?
I mean, the things that I get really nerdy and geeky about are really like music related normally. So, you know, I'll go in on plugins and just music tech with music buddies so I don't know, I guess in that respect it's interesting to see like another brand of nerdiness.
Yeah.
Because most of my, like, I'm involved in a totally different sort of niche with like production and mixing related stuff that I've just gotten obsessed with over the last few years.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of thing I should probably be geeky about. For me, it's like antique cars, some like watches, things like that I just find fascinating. Like antique kind of stuff. I'm into the history of things like that. I've been geeking out over Brad Pitt lately.
Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's really
I was
good.
reading a GQ magazine. It's just like geeking out over Brad Pitt.
Well, I mean,
You're not the only.
I probably,
mean,
yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
a couple people who
If that
feel that way.
actually counts as if that qualifies as
Does
a
it?
nerd niche thing, because like
He's
everybody
not a
knows
niche.
it.
But when you're looking at
So
like
culture.
pictures after picture and being like, okay, I need to figure out how to pull off that wardrobe, that hairstyle.
All right. Well,
It's,
yeah.
it's kind of going a little far.
Sure, sure.
I'm like, babe, I looked at my wife. I'm like, do you think I could do my hair like that or pull this outfit off? And she's like, she's very nice about it.
Okay, and for you guys, since you work together a lot, like you've performed together with Gil and you've worked on songs together, is there something that you want to do in the future, like a recording project together maybe,
Sure,
again?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've been lucky enough to meet some amazing musicians through all of this. I sometimes feel like I want to write more, be more creative on my end, and I would definitely need someone like Aaron to like help me with that at some point. So I know he's got a lot of projects going on and is constantly, doing things like that. So hopefully, we can work together in that manner at some point in the near future.
Totally. I'm sure we'll have an album coming down the pipeline at some point in the next.
I hope so.
Not to tease it here too much.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a news site, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do a full album, maybe half originals, half covers, but definitely would like to get more original music going. So.
Are you currently working on original music? Or is
I've been tinkering around with a couple things, I was telling Aaron, we were emailing, I don't know, I sometimes feel like the lyrics come more easily for me, the music not as easily. I don't know, I still start to doubt that. Or I'll think I'll come up with like something great and original, and then I realize that I've heard it somewhere else before, or I don't know. I need to like let go of all that judgment that I put into it, and just kind of just start to give some things a shot, I guess.
I mean, that is also, in my mind, that's like the opposite of my experience with any kind of writing and co-writing, especially. Like anybody that likes to do lyrics is like a unicorn, because like nobody that I know actually enjoys doing lyrics or like thinks that the lyrics come easily. So because many of the people that I write with, tend to prefer music, melody, harmony, and the lyrics are always just like super laborious. So it's always nice to find collaborators that are like, oh, I love doing lyrics, and we're like sending them song after song.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I've never had somebody send me a song and be like, "Can you put lyrics to this?"
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to hear someone else's, idea and then try to put words to it. But it's something I'd like to try.
Cool. And from your own songs, both of you, do you have a song that you perform live? Like, what's your favorite song to perform live, or what you always look forward to performing?
Well, How Was I to Know is very special to me. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to perform it for some reason. I think it's just, I don't know, it's a hard one for me because of the subject matter, but then I know that people want to hear it, I used to not really enjoy performing 17, but people really want to hear that. And then 2 weeks ago, I did it with Swain in DC, and I felt like it went the best it had ever gone, and I really enjoyed singing it for the first time. It's as strange as that sounds, so hopefully we can recreate that here.
Are they going to play with us?
I assume so. I assume so, since we just did it a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I'll make sure.
That'd be amazing.
I'll make sure they do.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. It's a tough question. 90% of what I've been doing the last, really 3 or 4 years, it's been writing and production for other people to perform. So a lot of my favorite songs that I've been involved in right now, I've never actually performed because they're not for me. Yeah. I have a handful of, I have a bunch of songs that I've written, over the last several years that I haven't recorded, but that I perform from time to time, and or that I'm working on recordings for right now. So the one tune that came to mind immediately, even though I've only played it a couple times, is one called Annalie, but there's no recorded version of that, and I don't think there's a video of that either.
Have you played it here?
No.
You should.
So you're going
We might try to play it here. It's a little tricky with no band. I mean, it'll just be piano and 2 voices.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might take a stab at it.
I'd love to hear that.
Do a jam session.
But yeah, I don't know. I just always like that one, lyrically and melodically, whether or not I'm the right person to perform it. I actually the last couple of years I always loved being on stage and playing the piano, but I've been more and more, my day job is working in the studio, so I've been more and more immersed in that world of recording and recorded music, and less concerned with how are we going to do this on stage. So it's always, right now it's kind of like with the things that Amanda and I are doing, we might play those to tracks or play those with stuff that we recorded outside.